today we're going to do a couple of math activities that are going to be around the idea of the multiples of 4. So we're going to be thinking about how we can find patterns that help us when we're working with multiples of 4. So we're going to do a choral count today that starts with 4, and we're going to count by 4s. So can you give me a thumb at your chest when you know what's going to come next? Okay, and we're going to count until I say stop. Ready, begin.
4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72, 76, 80, 84, 88.
Stop. I'm going to have you stop there. Can you look at our count of multiples of 4 and see if you find any patterns in there? Can you guys turn and talk with your partner and share the patterns that you see?
I noticed that tens place, on the plate, some more place in the 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8.
So Elias, do you notice a pattern that's happening in the tens place? What's the pattern that's happening in the tens place?
The tens place. So like do the 10 2 times, then 3 times, then 2 again, and 3 again. So like 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 2 3 2 3.
Why do you think that's happening?
And another thing I noticed is in the one place, one, I think that's like 4.
We're doing a count by 4s, and so maybe since like when it goes across, it's jumping by 40, but when it goes down, it's jumping by 4.
I agree with you. See what you're thinking. Have you guys already shared? Is that what you're...
The 44, 4.
You guys both had time to share. Okay. Can you guys turn back, please? 3, 2. Anyone have a pattern that they noticed that they would like to share? Abdi, what did you and your partner talk about?
Me and Franklin talked about it jumps 40 every time from 4 to 44 because we're counting by 4s and 4 times equals 40.
So, Muna, can you tell me what Abdi just said?
He said that. Could you please repeat it?
Okay. Me and Franklin talked about it jumps 40 every time because 4 to 44 is jumping 40 because we're counting by 4s and 4 times equals 40.
He said that each row is jumping 40 because we're counting by 4s and each row has
10 multiples in it? Okay. I saw a couple of connection signs. If you and your partner talked about that, could you say that's me?
That's me.
That's me. So how, if we're jumping columns by 40, Isaiah, is that right? Have you guys talked about how it's jumping 40? And I had Muna repeat what Abdi said. Could someone say why that's happening again in their own words? Layla?
It's happening because 4 times 10 equals 40, and it's the circle, it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then over again.
Okay. So if I was to write 4 times 10 equals 40, I'm thinking 4 groups of 10 equals 40. Is that what we did today? Do we have 4 groups of 10 equaling 40? Look at your column. Are there 4 groups of 10 equaling 40? Farah?
I agree with Layla, but I have something to add. She got the 4 because we were counting by 4, and she got the 10 because the row it has 10 in it.
So I was going to ask that question next. So she got the 4 because we're counting by 4s, and she got the 10 because there's 10 numbers in each column. So if I have 10 numbers in this column, how would I write that equation? I'm asking for something pretty nitpicky right now. I'm not sure 4 groups of 10 would work for this. Elias, what should that one be?
10 groups of 4.
Yeah, we have 10 groups of 4, which equals 40, right? You guys agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen here too?
Yeah.
44 to 84 gives me another jump of 40.
So that column only has 2.
But we only did 2 in that column, right?
Yeah. Very fancy.
What other patterns did you see? Rain, what did you and your partner talk about?
What me and my partner talked about was that it goes so in the one place.
In the ones place? Okay.
Yeah, it's starting with 4, and then you go to 8, 2, 6. So you go 4, 1, 1. You start at 8, and then you say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's another 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, if you started at 8 and you counted 4 numbers on, you get a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Abdi?
I agree with Rain. I have something to add, and also in the ones place, it's plusing 4 each time because 4 to 8, it's plusing 4. 8 to 12, it's plusing 4. 2 to 6, it's plusing 4.
You said 2 things there that I just want to be very clear about. Because you said in the ones place it's plusing 4. If I just look at the ones place though, 8 plus 4 doesn't give me 2. So what happens there that makes that possible? And you said it correctly, but I just want to talk about that. Emma, what happens? I'm sorry. Did you have a thumb? What happens there that makes this go from 8 to 2?
Can you come back to me?
I sure can. Zachary, what's happening there that goes from the 8 to the 2?
Because in the ones place in 12, it's 2, and in the ones place of 16 is 6.
What happens in the you guys were talking about the tens column? What happens in the tens column?
There's a found in tens column, so like it would go 2 10s and 3 10s, and sometimes so like 1 1, then 2 2 2. 2 would be 3 times, and 1 would be 2 times.
Okay, so we pick up, and you said this before, but we pick up a tens, right? Our tens changes as we move. And what Zachary noticed in Elias, the tens has a pattern of the same number, the same digit repeats twice, the same digit repeats 3 times, 2 times, and then 3 times.
Or the
Go ahead.
The evens repeat itself 3 times. The odds repeat itself 2 times.
Interesting. So the digits that are odd in the tens place, though, right? The digits that are odd in the tens place repeat twice, and the digits that are even repeat 3 times. Interesting. So using one of the something to add, Zachary?
Yeah, in the ones place, it's not really one pattern. It's actually 2 patterns repeating. Essentially 2 patterns repeating 2 times.
Can you talk a little bit more about that, please?
Because it goes 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. Then it repeats again 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. So it's actually just it's not one pattern, it's two.
So can we just see if that pattern keeps repeating itself? Let's check that. So 4, you guys say it with me? 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8. Give me a thumb. What do you think the ones place would be here? Mustafa? 4, 8, 2. Does anyone agree with that? A couple of connections with that. Javon, you had a pattern you noticed?
Yeah. I noticed that it goes the first tens place, it goes 2 times, then the second it goes 3 times, and then it does it again. And it goes 1 time, 2 times, it goes 1 1, 2 2 2, 3 3, 4 4 4, 5 5, 6 6 6.
So you had a connection with Zachary's. You noticed the digit in the tens place and how that pattern works? So could you guys use one of those patterns that we've been talking about to tell me what number would come into this box? Can you guys talk with your partner about not just which one you think comes in, but why you think that happens?
I think it's
112 because you see where 32 falls in? 32, 72. You skip 82 and skip 92 and skip 102 to 112.
jumping 40, and if you add 40 to 72, 80, then it makes 112.
I have a connection with you. I did the same idea.
What do you think?
104, 108, 112. I counted the rest of the way. And then I
102.
got
That's 3 tens. What will be one more 10? It's 112. So you guys revise your thinking on that? Congratulations. 72, 82. Okay. Come back to me, please. 3. Can you guys tell me what did you and your partner talk about?
112.
112. Isaiah, did you have a connection to 112? Can you tell me why you thought so?
Because we're jumping by 40s, and if you add 40 to 72, then we have 112.
Okay. Anyone else solve it a different way? Muna?
I counted up from 88. I went 88, 92, 96, 100, 400, 812.
112. A couple of people did that. So we had different patterns that were working for us. Layla, what pattern did you use to help?
I used the 4, 8, 2, 6, 0 pattern.
Okay.
And that when I did the 4, 8, 2, 6, 0 pattern, that got me to 112 because it's just plusing 4.
I agree with you. I completely understand how you solved that. Farah, what did you do?
I got 112 because I knew because it was going 2 2 like this, and then I knew that the ones place was gonna be a 2, and then I counted from 70 because I was from 70, and then I counted 40 because it was jumping 40, and then I did 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and then so I knew the two, so I put them together.
I see
then I got
just
100.
how you did that far. That was an interesting strategy. Does anyone want to defend a number other than 102? I'm sorry. You should.
12.
You should want to defend a number. Anyone want to defend anything other than 102?
12.
Oh, right. Do you guys want to, anyone want to defend anything other than 112?
Yeah. No.
112 works for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question for you I want you to think about. If we continued our count, would we land on the number 121? You give me a thumb at your chest. If we continued our count, would we land on the number 121? How about, anyone want to defend yes, we would land on 121? Anyone want to defend no way, Jose? What haven't I heard from Anna? Do you want to tell me why you think we wouldn't land on 121?
We wouldn't land on 121 because the ones pattern, it doesn't have a 1, so it just keep repeating the same thing.
Oh, okay. Luna, can you tell me what Anna said?
Anna said that she respectfully disagrees because it goes in the pattern of 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, and there's no 21 in there. So it just.
Ivy, something to add?
I agree with Anna, and I have something to add. 121 wouldn't be there because in the ones place there is no odd number.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Franklin?
I noticed something. In the middle of the number line.
Yeah, the middle column?
Yeah, like right, like in the middle of the two columns. I noticed that it's in the middle of 2 and 6. It's counting by 4.
Oh, do you mean right here, honey, or do you mean right here?
Like with the 2, the 3.
The 2 to here? So is it counting by 4, or is it counting by 4
In the
tenths?
middle of 6 and 2, it has 4.
I agree.
So it's counting by 40 in the middle of.
40. You're exactly right. And that pattern happens, thank you, Franklin, you're exactly right. That pattern that happens here, it happens at every row, right, of the jump of 40. Okay, we're going to switch our math thinking for a second. Before we do that, can you guys give yourself a big oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
All right, so I'm going to kind of switch your math thinking for a second. And I would like you to give me a thumb in your chest if you have a strategy to solve this equation. If you have one and you're still thinking, see if you can come up with the second one. Moses, what did you get for that as an answer? Luna?
I got 6.
You got 6? Sweden? 6? Anyone want to put up an answer other than 6? Rain?
I got it 7. I got it 6 and 2 main. What do you mean main?
6 with remainder 3? Could you, Javon, I'm sorry. Did you have another?
4.
You got 4 for that? Could you guys turn and talk with your partner about how you solved that problem?
How I solved it was I know I did 24 divided by 4 equals 6.
10, 11, 12. Oh wait, no, I did 1, 2, 3,
my other way
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Guys, how did you solve that
22,
problem?
23.
We solved it by 4 fingers and kept on counting until we got to 24.
Can I see how you did that? What does that look like?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
And you had 6 fingers, and you guys both solved it that way? That is a really smart strategy. Do you think you could share that with the class? Okay. Can you guys come back to me, please? 3, 2, 1. I had the privilege of listening to a couple of different mathematicians share their strategies. I didn't get to hear everybody. I'm wondering if your strategy was the same or if you had different strategies. And we're just going to do something right now called the strategy share, where I'm just going to write down some different people's strategies on how they solved it. Emma, could you tell me how you solved that?
So I put up 4 fingers and
Okay.
then counted until I got to 24. And can I show?
Yeah, could you do, please?
I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and I got 6 fingers.
Could you, so I see your count. I just did it like that, like a choral count. Could you tell me, though, how you got 6 out of this? Where does 6 come from?
6 came from the count.
The count.
Yeah.
This comes from how many numbers you
How many numbers you said, right? How many multiples you said. So you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got 6 for your answer for that. Elias, how did you and Zachary solve it?
Me and Zachary solved it by, we got 6 by going, 6 plus 6 equals 12. And,
Okay.
and another 6 plus 6 equals 12. And 12 plus 12 equals 24.
So you guys kind of used what you knew about 6s to help you get that answer. I'm wondering, Zachary, in this answer, I see the 6, which was your answer. Where's the 4 show up?
Oh, because 6 fours.
Oh, because there's 6 4s. Okay, so 1,
I mean, 4 sixes.
4 6s. Anyone have a different way to solve it? Rain?
I draw the 4 circles.
4 circles? Okay.
And then I counted up. I put a 1 in each circle, counting up to 24.
So you went 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You kept doing that. How did you know when to stop?
When I got to 24.
Like that? How did you know then? What was your answer?
I revised my other thinking.
You revised your thinking? So you had 6 remainder, 3. What do you revise your thinking to?
6.
6? Okay. So can I cross this one off? Okay. Javon?
I revised my thinking. I also did it because I counted by my fingers. So I put 4 in each, and
I did the same way Emma did,
Okay.
and I got 6 as the answer.
So do you want me to just toss off the 4? Okay. Did anyone solve it a different way? Layla?
I solved it on a number line, a division number line.
So a division number line. Can you talk to me about what that looks like?
You start with 24,
So you started at 24.
and then I jumped 4, and that got me to 20.
How much did you jump backwards?
4.
4. You got 20.
And then the other 4, I got 16.
Okay. You got 16.
And the other 4, I got 12.
Okay.
And then another 4, I got 8.
Okay.
And then another 4, I got 4.
And then were you done here?
Oh, wait. And then I got another 4, and then do 0.
Okay. So in this problem, how did she get the answer of 6? Where does the 6 come from? Mustafa, where does 6 come from in this strategy?
The 4s.
What about the 4s?
The 4s that's on the jumps.
So, how do I know 6? What do I do?
Circle 1 4. Circle all of those
Oh,
4s.
so I'm counting the 4s. So I'm counting how many jumps she went backwards?
Yeah.
Can anyone think of another strategy on how to solve this? Is there any other way to do this? Luna?
4 times 6 equals 24.
Okay, hold on. So you know that 4 groups of 6 equals 24.
So that means if just one of the numbers were missing, it would have been the answer. Because it was division. And division is the opposite of multiplication.
So you know that division is the opposite of multiplication. So 4 times 6 equals 24. That means then
24 divided by 4 equals 6.
I'm wondering if that was your strategy. Can anyone think of anyone have any other strategies that you can think of? Luna M?
The 12 from the two 12s from 6 plus 6 and 6 plus 6.
Yeah.
It's 10 plus 10 equals 20, and then 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Wonderful. So you use what you knew about place value to something? Okay. Fine.
If you write 24 circles, and then you put them into groups of 4, and then see how much groups of 4 you will have, and then that's the answer.
So I put them into groups of 4. One group of 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because I circled 6 equal-sized groups, I know my answer is 6. Can we agree that this becomes a 6?
Yes.
You guys revise your thinking? I'm going to go ahead and put that in the box. And I have a really tricky question for you guys. Are you ready for a really tricky question?
Yes.
You're going to have to rev up your brains. You're going to have to stroke your old man beard on this one. Okay, are you ready? I want you to look at all the different strategies up here. The choral counting, the adding up, the dividing out into 4, our number line backwards, our understanding that if I know this multiplication fact, it's the opposite of division, or this fact of dividing groups. I want you to think about which of these facts, which of these strategies is very similar to each other. Which of these strategies are very similar? Can you try and talk with your partner about that?
Okay. I remember the sharing one
I think the number line goes with the coral count, and the 6 plus 6 equals 12 one goes with the 4 times 24 divided by 4 one, and the circle one goes with the 24 right.
Similar to that.
Yeah, that one. So what you're saying was the coral count goes with the number line. That one adding on goes with the and that 6 yeah, and then goes to 4 times 6 equals 24.
And
it's the opposite.
so those two. Oh, I see. So it's the two kinds of division. Are those
I think the number line and the coral counting are the same, but they're just backwards on each other. They're the same, but they're just backwards.
6 plus 6 plus
The 4, because like there's groups, because it both has
Four circles.
Oh, okay.
and they're in groups of 6.
So do I have the same?
The different ways because they're switched around. There's 4 on that one and 6 on the other one.
Oh,
So they're switched around.
that's really interesting. You know, I wonder if you could share that with the class. Do you think you could share that thinking with the class? That was pretty sharp thinking. Could you guys turn back to me, please? 3, 2, 1. Boy, I heard a lot of good conversations as I walked around the room, and I got to listen in on 2 really rich mathematical conversations. Isaiah, you and Rain were talking about 2 that you noticed were similar. Which 2 did you guys think were similar?
The black one and the red one because you're both putting them into groups, and the black one is the opposite of the red one. The red one's the opposite of the black.
So, Isaiah, you think that this one, this strategy that Rain had, and this strategy that Farah had were similar because I was putting both of those into groups? Javon, you were talking about that too. Could you add on to that idea?
It's similar because it's different. It's different from similar because they're switched around. Because those have 4 groups and the other one has 6 groups.
So what I think is interesting is that these are similar because we were dividing out in both. However, they're a little bit different because this one was finding out how many is in each group, and this was finding out how many groups there are. You have something to add about that?
And me and Farah, I think the open line go with the coral count, except for the open number line it's going backwards, starting at 24. And the other one's not the same.
So, you guys were saying that these 2 are very similar. However, it sounds almost like you were talking about how they're different. Could you say that second part again about how they're different?
The coral count starts at 4, but in the open number line starts at 24. And then ends at 4.
And in the coral count, and I'll say this to everybody, coral count, were we going forwards or backwards?
Forwards.
But on our number line that Layla did, was I going forwards or backwards?
Backwards.
But I still got the same answer?
Yes.
That's interesting how multiplication and division can work that way. Layla?
The blue one and the other one.
These 2 blue ones are the same or they're different?
They are the same
They're the same. How are they the same?
because they're both equaling 24 and 4 and black.
I think you're onto something here. Farah, do you want to add to her idea?
Yeah, because this equation goes with the same one like that equation.
Can you tell me why you think so?
Because there were they did 4. They counted 4 times.
Okay, so they were counting forwards or they were counting backwards?
Forwards.
Forwards. They were repeat adding here, and then if it goes with this one, we know that multiplication is repeated addition, right? Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to do something that I'm going to ask you to do one more thing with our math activity today. And I was thinking that probably you would get this count finished. So I have a copy of this count on your exit ticket. What I'm going to ask you to do today is think about the patterns that we discussed in our choral count. Think about what we talked about with the relationship between how our numbers can work when we're thinking multiplication and division. And on your exit ticket today, I'm going to ask you to write the next 7 multiples of this count. And then with your marker for learning, you can circle any patterns that you notice. You can write any patterns you notice. I want you just to tell me anything you can about your choral count on your sheet. Do you guys have any questions about the math in this? Okay. I'm going to ask you to do this by yourself. It's not a test, but I just kind of want to see your thinking on this. And now I believe you 2 counts can go. Actually, you guys got to come back. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Oh, who's gonna be like, what?
All right, you guys can go. So how can we put in the ones first?
Okay, so I know which number it was.
So how did you know which ones to put in, though?
Because I used the pattern.
Oh, the pattern in the ones column? So you're filling that in, and then you're filling in tens? Is there a pattern you noticed about the tens that you can use to help you with that?
Like it's going, it's going 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 1, 1, 1, 1. I noticed something about in the 100 place. In the hundreds place, it repeats like 4 times. Wait. It repeats. It just goes by like just once.
In the hundreds place right now?
Yes.
So now that you've gotten to the hundreds, is your tens place still stay in the same pattern?
Yes.
So, do you think that's going to always be true? Do you think it's going to always follow that pattern?
Yes.
What happens when you get into the 200s? Do you think the tens pattern will stay the same?
Yes.
Interesting.
Wait. It repeats. It just goes by like just once.
In the hundreds place right now?
Yes.
So now that you've gotten to the hundreds, is your tens place still stay in the same pattern?
Yes.
So, do you think that's going to always be true? Do you think it's going to always follow that pattern?
Yes.
What happens when you get into the 200s? Do you think the tens pattern will stay the same?
Yes.
Interesting. So can you tell me about this? Oh, are you revising your thinking there?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your arrows. What do they mean?
They mean, they each count by 40.
Does that happen in every column?
Yes.
Does it jump by 40? Do you think if we had columns, if we kept 10 in each column, and we had columns all the way over here, do you think that would always be true? That it would be jumping 40?
No.
You don't think that would be true? At what point would that stop being true?
Because there's more over at the other side, so it might not jump by 40 no more.
Can you try something for me? I asked you to do the next 7 multiples. Can you actually complete this line to here and then give me the number that would come right here? So can I watch you do that? Okay. So from here to here, what's that jump?
40.
If I go 60 to 20, have I gained 40 or have I lost 40?
Lost 40.
Lost 40. So we have to just be careful with our arrows because they're only going in one direction if we're plusing. The other way would be minusing. So what if, can I put something on your paper? What if I were to make my arrow go this way? 84 to 44, is that plus 40 or is that minus 40?
Minus 40.
Minus 40. Do you want to label that for me? And does that hold true if I went from here to here too? That's interesting because that relationship with adding and subtracting is a lot like the multiplication division that we talked about.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Perfect. I know exactly what you did. That looks quite perfect for me. If you're using arrows or circling, don't assume I know what that means. Label those signs. You guys did a really nice job on your exit slips, and I noticed a lot of patterns that you guys saw in the structure of how multiplication works. Abdi, do you want to share one? Because this was a pattern we started to talk about on our count, and then Abdi took that idea and went a little bit further with it.
I noticed in the tens place from 84 to 120 in the tens place, like the tens repeat itself 3 times because 96, if you add a 4, the ones place becomes 0, and it adds another number to the tens place, and the 10 repeats itself 3 times.
Because you're switching over, you're adding a new 10 place.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys did a great job. Can we give ourselves a bubble clap, please? Ready? Awesome job. These can stay in your desk while you're pushing your chairs and line up for PE.